all chosen ones are not built the same. YouTube, right now, the chosen one topic is extremely popular. And I'm noticing more and more that chosen ones are being used in almost all of the um, avenues out there on YouTube. I'm seeing it more and more. And I'm really happy to see that this is becoming more known because I know that everybody has different experiences with gang stalking. And this usually comes through narcissism. Like, I feel like narcissism is the gateway for this kind of activity in people's lives. Whether you grew up in a family that was narcissistic and you were scapegoated and you had to break family curses in order to, free yourself from these invisible binds that people are stuck to, and then you kind of sit on the outside looking at how everybody navigates in this world, and this world is very narcissistic and it's very dog eat dog, and at least I know where I live it's like that. And um, this is that chosen one thing when you break free of mental manipulation that usually comes through either being in a narcissistic relationship or narcissistic family or neighborhood, community, whatever. Church, even, it happens sometimes. So it's very, I feel like that's what makes people become chosen ones. But I want to say, not all chosen ones are built the same. There are some of us that are dealing with shit that I don't even think the average person would ever be able, or even somebody who's really well rounded on this stuff that would really understand. And you can see this. Who is like all the people who speak about chosen ones, there's some that are talking about basically, I find like the most popular topic of chosen one is the one where people, they don't want to give you your credit. They don't want to give you any attention, or like they will steal credit from you. They will abuse you. They will isolate you. They'll try to like make it seem like you're not as great as you are. Like, that's the most common one, and that one is across the board. If you shine in any way, people don't want to see it. And then when you get to a certain level where you're shining really bright, then they're going to, want to pull you down, or just be like a user and be in your circle, or your boyfriend or girlfriend, and take you down that way by giving you, I don't know, these people are insane. Like, my ex, like, there's something, okay. My ex is connected to the reptilians. That's why I have the UFOs outside of my house. And like, he, I remember there was a night, this was closer to the end of their relationship when the facade was over and the mask was disappearing. And, uh, he was, some narcissists, they have this thing where they will withhold love from you. Actually, all of them do that. And so we were laying in the same bed and he had his back to me, and he had hugged me and I was so happy about it. Like, I was like, oh, like, I'm getting the hugs tonight. And then he like pulled away, and energetically what that does, like, they eat off of that, because then they can turn their back to you. You're left there feeling, like you're not worthy, or just like shit. You just feel like shit. You're like, oh, why don't they, most of the time they hug me and they love me, and that tonight they just have their back to me. And I recognized at this point that this is what was going on energetically. And I said to myself, I don't want to just give my power away. Like, yeah, I feel like crap, but I don't want to just allow him to take that from me. And so I moved to the other side of the bed and I started, praying to God, and I started feeling that love coming back into my heart, coming from the divine, coming from Jesus, coming from, wherever you get that light from. And I filled up my own cup and filled up my own heart, and I didn't feel like, I was missing anything because he had taken it from me. And let me tell you, the way that my energy relaxed, the way that my aura relaxed, tell me how this guy just gets up and then finds his way onto me and latches onto me. These people, these narcissistic people, they do not know how to create their own energy. They don't know how to, like, tap into a divine source and just fill their own cup and say, you know what, everything's going to be okay. God loves me. I love me. And to keep it pushing, like, they need to latch on literally to somebody else who knows how to do that and suck it from them. That's why as soon as you're all dried up, they don't want nothing to do with you anymore. They're just like, ugh, you're like an empty battery. Boom, toss you, discard you, and they move on to the next. So I say this because I want to say that, like, for me with my ex who was a reptilian, like, or at least he's highly connected to them because they will not stop showing up outside my house. Like, it's just the craziest thing. And I I'm dealing with something that I've never heard anybody else talk about. Um, None of the other chosen ones have talked about UFO gang stalking. Um, I'm the only person that I know of that has talked about this. I've seen people who talk about, like Richard Bruce talks about gang stalking that he had with helicopters. He lives in Hollywood or in LA, and he has like helicopters, which I have experienced at one point, but it wasn't like the way he experiences it. I've always been gang stalked by UFOs. So I don't know. When I say that all chosen ones aren't built the same, there's some that are dealing with, you know, regular gang stalking, and then there's some of us that are dealing with straight up demons or straight up reptilians or straight up, like, this is some Harry Potter shit, like, and I don't know how to navigate this, but one thing I do know is that God got me, because if it wasn't for God, I would not have gotten where I am today. I have a great place, a great job. My family loves me. I'm clear headed when it comes to who I am as a person, what I want. And, like, I just feel like I've made it so far. I had in the past dealt with addictions, and I used to be a hot mess, but that's what happens when you're in a narcissistic family, and, you're dating a narcissist, and your self-esteem is just shot, and you have people who are horrible influences around you, fake friends. I had no discernment at all about who was there for me and who wasn't, and I've come so far from that place. And I'm still grateful. And if it wasn't for God, I would not be where I am today. So I'm not having any fear, even though I'm under attack right now. And more ways than one that I don't really want to talk about right now on YouTube until I get to the other side, so that I can help others who are in the same position. But it's not just the UFOs. Like, they are doing stuff to me, to my physical body and my spiritual body, especially at nighttime. So we'll touch that when we get there, because I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do about that. But I'm just trying my best to just keep living day by day, and I want to send that message to other chosen ones who are going through some horrific otherworldly experiences, that we will get through this. Keep your faith. If you have just a little bit of faith, you're going to be fine, and God will always look after you. Always make sure that you have food on the table. Always make sure that you get through. Sometimes it's just these trials, it's trials. We don't know why, but it happens. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So thank you, and God bless. Bye.